The University of Texas at San Antonio releases new sexual assault allegations. San Antonio and its firefighters union agree to mediation over contract terms. And the locked-in Spurs stay in the hunt for a higher playoff seed. This is your Express Briefing podcast for Monday, April 8th. Subscribe to this and other free content at expressnews.com/podcasts. And get each day's top news and sports headlines delivered to your inbox at expressnews.com/newsletters. A law firm hired by the University of Texas at San Antonio has been unsuccessful in its attempt to find out who created and circulated anonymous flyers at an apartment complex near campus that appeared to herald a vigilante effort to publicly identify men said to have raped students. But while the investigation by Austin-based law firm Ice Miller was largely inconclusive, it did turn up a handful of previously unpublicized accusations that UTSA officials released Friday. You can find more information on what was released at expressnews.com. UTSA's president asked for the probe in the wake of a November meeting of female students who exchanged stories of their experiences with sexual assault and what they considered the inadequacy of the university's response. Though the meeting's organizers say they have no idea who created them, the accusatory flyers appeared within days of the gathering. The law firm's investigations heard from about a dozen current and former students who were not part of the women's group, with some alleging they'd been raped or harassed, while others described attacks that had happened to others. Also Friday, the university released the findings of a Title IX compliance review conducted by external advisory firm Baker Tilly to assess UTSA's sexual assault policies. UT San Antonio has added a sexual assault prevention training program to its new student orientation, made compliance training for faculty, staff, and students an annual requirement, and created an office to provide a support space for those assaulted. In a move that for now avoids arbitration, the city and San Antonio's firefighters union have agreed to continue contract negotiations with assistance from a mediator. The two sides will meet April 17th and 18th with former Texas Supreme Court Justice Deborah Hankinson, who presided over court-ordered mediation between the two sides in 2017. Under Proposition C, a city charter amendment approved by voters in November, the union has the power to declare an impasse at any time and send the talks to binding arbitration. Since the San Antonio Professional Firefighters Association returned to the bargaining table in late January, the two sides have met 10 times. Last week, talks stalled when the city essentially shot down the union's proposal to provide firefighter health care through a trust funded by city taxpayers but controlled by the union, and the bargaining teams left their session Tuesday without resolving how to proceed. The union proposed extending the negotiations for 15 days, but city officials said the negotiations had become futile, and they wouldn't agree to an extension unless the union consented to the use of a mediator and provided more detailed proposals about health care benefits and premiums. Saturday, book lovers of all ages flocked downtown to the Central Library and Southwest School of Art for the 7th annual San Antonio Book Fest. The Book Festival is the signature event of the San Antonio Public Library Foundation, and officials expected more than 2,000 patrons, just as last year, to attend the festival that included panels and book signings with local and national authors. Streets around the library at 600 Soledad were closed for a festival marketplace that included resource booths, a children's reading tent, interactive play and art stations, and food trucks. And Sunday, there was no shortage of offensive highlights in the Spurs' 112-90 victory over the Cleveland Cavaliers. However, the team's defensive effort, which included limiting Cleveland to 39.7% shooting from the field, reflected the locked-in attitude of a team that's determined to enter the playoffs on a roll. After the Los Angeles Clippers lost to Golden State Sunday night, all the Spurs need to do is to beat Dallas in the regular season finale Wednesday at the AT&T Center to avoid finishing 8th, which would mean a first-round matchup with the top-seeded Golden State Warriors. And that's your daily San Antonio Express briefing for Monday, April 8th. Subscribe to this and other free content at expressnews.com/podcasts.